Whoa, my camera is not working on this screen. So we'll go this one. Nope. Oh well, guys, get ready for probably what's gonna be one of my favorite interviews so far. Um, Welcome to the chat, Mike, Just Ice, UG. What's going on? How you doing, man? Guys, get ready for it's probably gonna be one of my favorite interviews so far. This guy is awesome. This dirty Irish prick, UG Outlaw.
Not entirely wrong.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. We've been putting this off for fucking ever, it seems like. But it's really only been, 2 weeks, I think, at the most. It got put off by 1 week and then a couple days. So
Yeah.
man, it's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Oh man, this is really cool. This just kind of reminds me of when Mullet interviewed me, and Mullet said literally this was the first time we ever actually spoke to each other, and it's literally the same with you and me. It's the first time we've actually had a conversation with each other.
Yeah, we've had a few text conversations in Instagram chat and in Discord, but mostly it's all been public forum type conversations in people's chats. We're 5 hours apart from each other, so trying to line up times is very difficult. So
yeah,
tell us a little bit about yourself for some of the people that don't know you. Where are you from? All that good shit.
Right. Well, first off, if you can't tell by the accent, I'm actually from Ireland. And don't worry, folks, I'm actually sober. Trust me. So I think the best way to describe me is I'm just some Irish guy who just plays video games and just talks bollocks 3 hours at a time. That's what I usually say in my streams anyway.
Ireland. I've been to Ireland one time. I was in Dublin.
Oh yeah?
Dublin in I think it was 2010. I went there. We went from Kaiserslautern, Germany, into Dublin,
right,
to see. Which is funny. I was just telling the story to somebody else last night. Went from Kaiserslautern, Germany, into Dublin, to go see Dropkick Murphys and Flogging Molly in concert.
Huh.
Two Boston fucking bands went to Dublin together to do a concert.
Nice.
So it's still cool. I mean, I know they're not really Irish, but they're Irish and they're fucking awesome. I love them. My real last name is actually Riley, so I'm Irish too. I'm a little bit of everything as part of being American, but yeah. So you're from Ireland. We got that part out of the way. Over there, I know I've asked a few people in in their streams or in private conversations in Ireland right now. Let's get the political part of it out of the fucking way. Obviously, we all know what's going on right now in Europe. And I know right now in the United States, the biggest effect we're feeling it is at the gas pump. What's it like for you guys over there, Ireland and the rest of the UK? Are you guys really feeling any of the effects of it?
The only effect that I've kind of noticed is the price of oil over here has just gone through the fuck. Cause outside my house, we have an oil tank outside, and usually when I fill that up, it would cost me about 20 euro, because you've got a container and it's about that size. 20 euro would fill it up. Now, literally, if it fills up, it costs a 10 or more, with bullshit.
So yeah, the oil prices, gas prices, that's the biggest thing here. My wife says all the time, I'd rather pay more at the pump than have to deal with this jackass coming into my country.
Yeah.
So I definitely get that. So we got that part out of the way. I have to know. I ask everybody because I want to know. I want to know how it's affecting people around the world. It's very scary what's going on.
Yeah.
So, but in light of all the scariness, we're gonna try to spend about the next hour or so entertaining you guys with our conversation and hopefully bring some light and love into the world through my dude UG. Yeah. How long have you been creating content on YouTube, Twitch, whatever?
okay, this is going to be like a bit of a story. I originally created like my channel in 2014 because like at the time I was like a massive martial arts enthusiast, and I still am. But right around that time, I tore my left knee, and I was basically like I had to sit at home for, I'd say, about 4 to 6 months. And the biggest issue is with me, like I'm very active, so I couldn't really do much. So sitting at home, like doing nothing, like it would kind of like really piss you off. So I remember my mom, bless her, thankfully she's still with us. She always knew like if I was like down about something or pissed off about something, and she always knew, and she goes, "Why don't you just like play a game or something? That always seems to cheer you up." And I just said, I suppose. So I remember I was watching some Irish YouTuber. His name was Brian Von Doom, and he did like a lot of fighting game stuff. And then straight away, like it just hit me, just thinking, okay, if he can do it, what's stopping me? So time went on. I had like a really like shitty laptop at the time, and I went off and I got myself a capture card. Now the videos, they're not there anymore because I've deleted them. So the very first like no commentary playthrough that I ever did was Batman Arkham Origins. It was on the Xbox 60. And then I played through that. I did this
Badass game.
after.
Badass game.
Oh man, it's so good. It's so underrated. It's not. So I played that, and I did a couple of other like no commentary playthroughs. But then after that, I just kind of lost interest. So I deleted everything. And then maybe about a year and a half, 2 years later, I tried again. Same thing. And then just, they were gone. So this is literally like my third time, starting the channel again. And so far, so good. I've always like been very thankful for people like who stop by my streams, all the subscribers. Even if someone just says like they're stopping by to drop a like or whatever and they just leave, to me, that is just totally cool.
Then you got guys like DNF Dead who says he's just stopping by to drop a like, but 2 hours later he's still there.
Well, the funny thing is, like, I was trying to like subtly like not mention DNF when I said just stopping by to drop a like, but if he's actually in the chat, he probably knows I'm talking about him.
Yeah, I've noticed that sometimes he really does just stop in and drop a like because he's got shit to do. But most of the
Yeah.
time, I've noticed whether it's my stream, your stream, Rufus, whoever, he comes in, he says, "Hey, I'm just here to drop a like. Have a like and a great stream," is what he says. Like 2 hours go by and I say something, he's like, "Yeah, blah blah." Like, you're still here? Oh,
Oh no, like
so
the amount of times like I have like, I wouldn't say like take a cheap shot at him, but when he says like just stopping by to drop a like, oh, so you're staying for the whole stream then? Okay, cool.
all the time I do that to him. So yeah, so recently, I remember a few months ago you took a break again. You didn't know if you were going to keep streaming or whatnot. That break lasted all but 3 weeks, I think, something like
Yeah,
that.
just about 3 weeks because like at the time, like before I got my streaming PC that I have now, and I'll get to that story in a couple of minutes. It was like at the time, like when I first started streaming, all I could do like was stream through my PS4. Now, don't get me wrong, like that's how everyone starts. They start through their PS4 or their Xbox. But I think Xbox you can only just stream on Twitch, but there's no way in hell I'm going to that urine so hole. But that's another story. But I think like just after a time, like just streaming the same things over and over again, I wouldn't say I was getting like burned out, but it just for me like it just wasn't fun anymore. And I always had planned to like get a streaming PC. And the streaming PC that I have now, I literally saved up for that for an entire year. Like just working overtime, asking for extra days just to get my hands on one. And now that I finally like have one and I'm able to stream whatever I want, it's like, okay, the spark is back. It's there. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I know. I know everybody noticed there for a couple weeks. You didn't see anything go up on my channel, nothing. And it's because I'm scratching my head. Like, so you've got guys like JK Gamers, like Loki X, and like Rob himself. These guys, the Gaming Jew, Minky Minks. These people are just like, their personalities are what draw people in.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Rob himself can keep doing. I'm going to use him as an example because this is like one of my best buddies. This guy's doing fucking great too. So,
Yeah.
when Rob started doing YouTube, I was at like maybe 400 subscribers. Rob just hit 600. He passed me up quick. And he's just doing the same jobs over and over again every week on GTA. The reason that works is because, one, he's pretty. Let's be honest, a pretty face goes a long way. And two, he's just so entertaining. He just has that personality that sucks people in. So I don't know how to do that. Like I don't, and maybe it's because I overthink it. So basically what I'm saying is I understand, you get to that spot where you're just like, what do I do? I'm not having fun doing the same thing over and over again. How do I do the same thing over and over again and pretend I'm having fun doing it? Or what happens if I go play something else and nobody's going to watch me? And I've noticed with you pretty much have that same attitude that I do, that it doesn't matter. If people watch or not, you're still going to stream and you're going to enjoy yourself.
Like, this is like the way I see it. When I took a break from streaming, I think I was streaming GTA or Red Dead, I can't really remember. And now my wife, she was downstairs and I just came downstairs and she's always been straight up on us. And she literally looked me dead in the eye and just said, "That was not your best." And I just said, "This is why do you think that? Because you just looked like you just weren't interested and you weren't enjoying it." And to tell you the truth, I actually wasn't. Because I've always been the person that I don't want to just stream one or two games. Fine, it brings in the views, but if you're not enjoying it, then what's the point?
Right. I've had Alyssa do that to me a few times too. Like, the fuck was that? I get it.
Yeah, that's wives for you. Like you marry them, but at the same time, they're so loving and supportive to you no matter what you do. But at the same time, if you're having a bad day or you're having a bad stream, they're going to be the first to tell you.
Hands down, every single time. Every single time.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they've ever said anything to you if you've had a bad stream too. But another two people that are really good at letting me know when I just had a bad stream and it didn't go well is Rufus and Mullet. Are both among that list of, look, man, hey, you all right? You good? Not so much of that was shit, but they'll check on, like, dude, you okay?
Yeah.
So, and I try to do the favor. So if you ever stream and I'm ever like, yo, UG, you all right, bro? Just know that I'm checking on you, and I know you're not. I could tell you're not doing well at the moment.
And I think Jack can notice that as well. Usually when I stream, it could be whatever, and I could just be there just trying to have a bit of fun, but chat will just pick it up. They'll know that you're not having fun, you're not enjoying it. So when the stream's over, I could have someone like Mike or self, you'll DM me and just go, "Dude, are you okay?" And I go, "Yeah." I says, "Why? Is it you just seemed a little off tonight?"
Yeah, absolutely. Bro, you answered the next 4 questions just in that little span of conversation there. That's what I'm talking about. So I do want to hit on this real quick. Obviously, a few weeks ago, everybody knows Rockstar has announced that the next installment in the Grand Theft Auto saga is well underway. Development for it is well underway. We all pretty much know that means GTA 6. So I want to know how you decipher that, how you take that. And then after you explain to me what you think about that, how you translate that information, I'll tell you, if we're thinking the same thing. I bet we probably are.
I'm going to be 100% honest, and this is the way I've always been. It's come to a point where I'm not going to sit here and take a shot at clickbaiters, because that's a totally different conversation altogether. But the amount of times I've heard, "When's GTA 6 coming out? Oh, GTA 6 is coming this date, or it's coming out that year." It's come to a point I don't. If it comes out, great. If it doesn't, what are you going to do?
So the way I would look at it, at least the way I'm thinking about it, is everybody wants GTA 6. I want it. I was excited when I heard about it. I have
Yes.
not clicked on a video that said anything about GTA 6
Mm,
in probably 2 years. Because I
right.
got tired of thinking, before I met John, I'm sitting here thinking that Mr. Boss for the Win knows everything. You just got to be able to filter through it. And I'm like, okay, he's looking like when it came to anything GTA 6, he was really reaching for that shit. God, he
Mm,
was reaching hard. But now finally, I hear some news from Rockstar. And it's a paragraph, and we know that the GTA community, especially the YouTube side of the GTA community, is really good at going off of a paragraph
mm,
for information without saying any names or talking about any situations.
yeah.
Um, but the way I decipher it with the way Rockstar works with that is, so they said the next installment, development for the next GTA installment is well underway.
Mm,
Well, Rockstar undersells everything except for the Definitive Edition trilogy.
right.
They oversold the fuck out of that. But they
Oh yeah.
undersell everything. So to me, if they're saying that the next installment is development's well underway, I would assume it's probably almost done.
Yeah.
The development side of it. Now, the voice acting and all that, I don't know. I don't know
Mm,
how it works enough, but I do know enough about how Rockstar works that I would say they're probably underselling it a little bit. End of
mm,
2024, beginning of 25 with a delay, if I had to guess.
probably.
But
Yeah, you're
if
probably.
if it's delayed, it's delayed. I'm with you on that. I want it, but if it doesn't come out, it doesn't come out. It is what it is.
Yeah. That's just the way like I treat it. Like I'm the type of person like I'll never get overexcited about a game that comes out, even if it's like one of my favorite franchises. If I see a trailer of it, I'm like, oh cool, it's coming out. But I'm gonna wait until it comes out. I have my hands on it, and then I play it myself, and that's how I kind of judge a game myself.
Now, speaking of favorite franchises, we're both, you know, grew up around the same time in the
Mm,
90s and 2000s.
mm,
Um, Gran Turismo 7, have you played it yet?
no.
Did you play any of the older ones?
The only like Gran Turismo I ever played was like the very first one that came out on PlayStation. The
Man,
rest of them I haven't touched.
I started with Gran Turismo 3, the A-Spec game, and I've played every single one of them since then.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get my hands on this fucking game, dude. I mean, it wasn't for everybody, especially because you were what, 30, 31, 32, right?
37.
37? Okay, you're a little bit older. But
Mm.
when we were growing up and those games were coming out, those were complicated as fuck.
Mm.
To organize your cars and all that. So unless you were a fucking gearhead, it was hard to understand what you were doing wrong.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what appealed to me. I grew up watching my dad and uncle rip fucking V8s or V6, rip V6s out of fucking Camaros, swapping engines and putting them back in a fucking few hours. I
Right.
grew up rebuilding engines and shit like that with my dad and uncle. So when it came to doing that stuff on a video game, that was even better because for some reason, as
Yeah.
active as I always was, I've always loved video games. And it's always been
Mm.
Gran Turismo, Grand Theft Auto, and then Red Dead when it came out. Then of course there's the nostalgic ones like Tony Hawk. So, man, I was honestly
Cool.
expecting this big rant from you about how bad you wanted Gran Turismo 7. So I guess the last big game that came out that you were excited about was the Call of Duty game.
Well, are you talking about this one?
Yeah. So you know what's coming next.
Yeah, I think I know where
Tell
this is going.
tell them the story. We got to hear the story again. I don't care how many times I hear it; it never gets old. So what
Right.
happened to your arm?
Right. So I was getting up for work one morning, and like sometimes like you wake up late and you're literally like Sonic the Hedgehog, like beating it down the stairs, right? So I was like running downstairs, and next thing you know, I like missed a step, and I fucking like ended up like doing a fucking barrel roll down the stairs. My entire weight went on my right shoulder. The only thing that fucking saved me was this.
Did it destroy the
So,
disc or just the case?
oh, the case was fucked. So, so my wife like comes out. She goes, "Are you okay?" And literally, like, I couldn't move my arm, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to be going to work." And she says, "Why? What did you do?" I said, "Did you not hear me like doing a combat roll down the stairs?" And she just said, "I'll get my keys. I'll bring you to the hospital." I was like, "Love you."
And the worst part about the dislocated shoulder the whole time was it was impossible for this man to hold a video game controller.
And it pissed me off to no end. Like, I
um,
do remember doing like an update stream, and my arm was still in a sling at the time. And I know a few of ye are in the chat. By the way, fuck the lot of ye for the Obi-Wan Kenobi jokes, you pricks.
he did kind of reveal or kind of resemble a the robes that they were wearing.
Maybe I actually like will just wear like a Jedi robe just for a laugh.
Carry a
And he
green
can
lightsaber into one of your streams.
Yeah. Like that's the thing, like with me, like I have no problem if like people see something that they find funny, I'm just gonna roll with it. Like if you find it funny, fine, I'm gonna make an absolute ass out of myself. I hope you're all fucking happy.
Oh man, this man was so excited about Call of Duty, he fell down the stairs.
Yeah, the excitement was real. I was so excited to play a Call of Duty game. I dislocated my shoulder and I couldn't play it for God only knows how long. Thanks.
Oh, you know what excites me?
What?
Uh, you can definitely feel excited about this too. I know you are.
Mm-hmm.
2022 class, World Wrestling Entertainment Hall of Fame,
Yes.
The
Yes.
Undertaker.
I said this to you like before we went live, and I'm going to say it again. It's about fucking.
Everybody puts the name GOAT on so many athletes.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, and then there's the Michael Jordan, and you got what's his name? They can't decide which basketball team he wants to play on right now. He's for the Lakers.
Oh, I don't know his name.
I don't remember his name because Michael Jordan's really the GOAT, anyways.
Yeah, he's probably like just some basketball star that's not real.
But who else has put so much into a company, into an industry? And say what you want about how fake wrestling is, those guys are still fucking athletes. What they put their bodies through is insane. Who else put so much into the production of this company, of the WWE, to where he was trusted to go 21-0 at the greatest spectacle of them all?
Like I have like so many like fond memories of the Undertaker, and I'm actually going to share one with you. When he like first like debuted like back in 1990 at the Survivor Series, he legit scared the shit out of me. No joke. Like you just see like this 6'10" man come out, all dressed in black. He's got the hat on. I was legit fucking terrified.
You were like 5 years old at the time too.
I was like 5 years old. Like I remember like myself and my dad, God rest his soul, we were watching like the Survivor Series, and I think I remember he was on the $1 Million Man's team, and like he brought him out,
Yeah,
and I was
he
sitting
come
there
out
like
and he
watching,
come out with Brother Love. I love you.
or Blubber Love as I used to call him, but anyways. So next thing you know, like Taker comes out, and I was legit terrified.
Hey, hold on, UG.
Yo,
Look at the chat.
oh, let me see. Let's just move on.
You see who it is?
Yeah, I see who it is.
DNF, we were talking about you. All right. Go on with your story.
So like Undertaker like comes out, and I like legit was terrified. Again, I'm 5 years old, and the chair that my dad was sitting on, I literally like hid behind it. That's how scared I was. And my dad was just like, "It's okay." I said, "It's gonna be fine." I'm like, "Nope, I am not coming out till he's gone."
I think my favorite Undertaker memory is probably WrestleMania, I think it was 11, when they were at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada.
9.
And he fought
Giant Gonzalez.
El Gigante, Giant Gonzalez, and
Yeah.
won, obviously. Between that one and then It was during the American Badass era, also a WrestleMania moment, when he won
Mm,
his 10th one,
yeah,
and he stepped out onto the apron after the match, and he just like that,
yeah,
and I was just like, man, this guy. And at that point,
bro.
the streak was really becoming something.
Yeah, because like I always remember like back then, like they never talked about the streak, but the more wins he got, people were talking about it more. And while I'm here, I might as well bring this up to you real quick. I was in the arena the day the streak died.
And that's where I was gonna go next. Was
Yeah.
you can't talk about the streak without talking about the one behind the one in
In
21 and
21 and
1.
1. Yeah.
How
I
man? How did you feel?
oh,
What went through your head?
like we were like in the arena. It was me, like, and my two best friends, and of course, like it was Brock Lesnar versus Taker. So we were all kind of thinking, like, Taker's got this. Like, we never thought in a million years like the streak would end. So we were like standing there watching the match, and next thing you know, Brock Lesnar hits him with the F5, and we're all just like, he'll kick out of this. We saw the 3 count, and we just kind of literally yelled, "What the fuck?" And the entire row that we were in went dead silent. Nobody was talking. We were all just like staring at the ring, kind of like trying to like comprehend what the hell just happened. Like, Taker lost at WrestleMania of all places. And I know people are probably still bitching about it to this day. Oh, but a part timer beat him. But if you kind of think about it, that night, Brock Lesnar literally became a legend. He ended the streak.
And I know a lot of people have their speculation. Do you think that was supposed to happen?
I don't think it was supposed to happen. I think like midway during that match, Taker literally got hurt. So I kind of think that Vince, to his credit, he had to make a judgment call. Because I think like if everything was supposed to go the way it was supposed to go, Taker would have won that match. So that's my thought on it, and I still think that way to this day. But
And
still, that night when it actually like happened, you're trying to like process everything. Like, just what the hell just happened?
I know I watched the documentary on him that came out last
Mm,
year.
yeah.
I've seen interviews with him and Brock and Paul
Mm,
about the breaking of the streak. And still to this day, none of them will confirm nor deny whether it was supposed to happen.
yeah.
The look on Paul Heyman is a horrible actor.
He is.
And that look on his face when Brock won the title, he was like, it was that, oh shit, we just fucked up look. It wasn't a
Yeah.
surprise like, oh my God, yeah. No, it was, uh oh. Uh oh.
Like
What?
I'll always like say this about Paul Heyman. Like, on the mic, he's good, but as an actor, he's terrible.
And one of the things that I do remember Undertaker talking about in his interview with Stone Cold on the
Mm,
podcast and in the documentary was he doesn't remember anything from
mm.
that whole day and 12 hours into the next day because of the injury that he sustained during the match. And he says he's went back and watched it over and over and over again, and he cannot pinpoint where the fuck what went wrong that made that happen. That he lost, but you could tell at the end of the match, dude, he was gone. He was not
Yeah,
there.
like at the very end of it, like Brock and Paul like had left, and I went when I like got home, like I kind of watched it back, and you could tell like it's like that old expression, like the lights were on, but there was no one there.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, he was just
He just looked a million miles away.
so. We talk about the ending of the streak. A couple more points I want to hit on with it before we move on from the Undertaker.
Right.
He lost to Brock Lesnar, which we all are pretty sure it was not supposed to happen that way.
Yeah.
Um, but even to this day, Brock Lesnar is still a special attraction in the WWE. He is a fucking freak of nature. Like him or
Yeah.
don't, Brock Lesnar's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
In real life too, not just in
Mm,
the confines of a squared circle, the octagon,
yeah.
and everything else. Then the Undertaker went on the next year. I don't remember who it was he faced, but he won the next year.
Um, I think like the following year he actually faced Bray Wyatt, I think.
John Cena. He beat John Cena.
Ah, I remember that. Yeah.
It was
Well,
John Cena. That's right.
I think like around that point, like my interest in WWE was just gone.
Mine
But I
too.
would always, yeah, but I would always like kind of like dip in and out just to like see what was going on.
I've been that way probably since about the time that the streak was lost. But
Mm,
he beat John Cena, and then he went on to face Bray Wyatt, and he lost to Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. And that was his second loss at WrestleMania. What that did in my mind was it took away the importance from
mm,
the loss to Brock Lesnar. It kind of took Brock Lesnar from up here, the one behind the one,
yeah.
and brought him back down here with everybody else. How did you feel about that when Undertaker lost to somebody else at WrestleMania?
Like I think like the second person like he lost to was Roman Reigns, and like at the time, like everyone hated Roman Reigns for some odd reason. I didn't really
That's right. It might have been Roman Reigns. Either way, whoever it was.
Mm. So like to me, like we were like sitting at home like watching it, and I just that shouldn't have gone down like as much as like people hate Brock Lesnar, despise Brock Lesnar, matter. Brock Lesnar should have been the only one to end the streak. Now that Taker like has two losses, it should have been just one.
And I guess a lot of that could have been avoided too if he would have just hung up the fucking boots when he was supposed to and stopped coming back.
Well, well, like to Taker's credit, like I think like the very last match he had was a boneyard match against AJ
AJ
Styles.
Styles, which was an awesome
Yeah.
match too.
Oh my god, it was so good. And like AJ Styles is one of my favorites. I'm gonna put my hand up and actually say that. So when I found out like those two were gonna have a match at WrestleMania, I literally was like, right, let's fucking go. I wanna see this. And then COVID happened.
Yeah, and we
So
weren't sure how it was going to work.
and then they constructed like the Boneyard match and I watched it live and I just kind of went, that was fucking phenomenal. No pun intended.
Yeah,
And like and
I
that was like for me, like that was like the perfect way for Taker to retire.
I agree. Like I was never a fan of the silly ass like the boiler room matches and the empty
Yeah.
arena matches and that stuff. I always thought they were so corny. But Undertaker made a staple doing those kind of matches. That's who he
Well,
was. He was the boiler room match guy, not Mankind. It was him. He was the empty arena match guy. He did that kind of stuff. And so I think when COVID fell during the time that it was time for the greatest of all time to retire, I mean,
yeah.
they had to find a way to make it good. And I think that was one of the best productions they've ever put together in a green room.
But it's funny, like, seeing as though like we're talking about Undertaker, we can't exactly like get past it without talking about the Hell in the Cell match with Mick Foley.
Oh man, that match right there, man. Not only does that contribute or attribute how nuts the Undertaker was, but
Mm.
how unpredictable Mick Foley was.
Watching it live, like I just thought it was it's going to be another like cage. And the first time like he threw him off the cell, I literally thought Mick was dead.
Oh yeah, it
I
knocked
think
his
like we
teeth out
all
through the
think that.
roof of his mouth and out his
Oh
fucking
my
nose, man.
god! So like they were carrying him out on the stretcher, and next thing you know, he was getting back up with a smile on his face. And I literally like I heard my dad in the other room, and he was like, "What the fuck is wrong with him?" And he climbs back up the cell, and I'm thinking to myself, "That guy's crazy." And Taker like choke slams him through the stage, and JR just said it perfectly. Would somebody stop the fucking match?
Yeah, he came back out twice when he was trying to be taken out on a stretcher. Man was fucking nuts. He still is nuts.
He's crazy. And the funny thing is, like, I've met Mick Foley twice. He's one of the nicest guys, like, you'll ever meet, but he hates talking about the cell match. He hates it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he does. You got the
Mm.
tacks, the teeth. It was nuts. But it's also
But
like that's the staple he made on the industry, and it was close to the end of his career.
mm,
A lot of people don't realize it though that Mick Foley started long before the Undertaker. He started over there
mm,
in ECW, WCW, Cactus Jack.
yeah.
Cactus Jack just never took off.
Mm,
He made a staple as Mankind in the WWF. Showed up there
yeah.
shortly before the Undertaker, I believe, late '80s, right? That Mankind showed up, or maybe it was about the same time.
I think it was like the late 80s, but I think around that time, like nobody knew who Mick Foley was. I think he was just more of a enhancement talent. I think I got that name.
Yeah,
Like I'm not gonna say like, oh, he was a jobber. He was more like of an enhancement talent. But then
kind of
like
kind of like
he
your bottom card guys. They
yeah,
weren't beat
like
ups, but they
yeah, like
were.
he went off, like he went to Japan and he like did the whole death match. Then he went to ECW and he was in WCW as well. And then he came back to in '96 like Mankind. Then after a while came back as Dude Love. Not my favorite characters out of the three faces of Foley, if I'm being honest. The only like good match he had when he played Dude Love was against Stone Cold Steve Austin over the Edge in '98. That was the only like good Dude Love match
I was about to say it was that one. Every other match that he did, I think, other than the Hell in the Cell match, all three characters combined, I think the Hell in the Cell match was the greatest of all of them. And then my second favorite one was, I think it was when him and Dory Funk, or was it Terry Funk, Chainsaw Charlie, had the tag team match against the Outlaws in the dumpster match. That was a good one. And then there was the Royal Rumble, where this son of a bitch came in 3 times as one as each character.
Oh boy, yeah, I remember that. Or like the I Quit match he had with The Rock at Royal Rumble '99.
I quit.
I quit. If someone came up to me and offered me $100,000 to take 13 chair shots to the head, I'm telling you to fuck off.
And he still didn't say I quit.
And that was it.
He never said
like
it.
They had to do like a voiceover to get him to say I quit, but like I remember, like, have you ever seen that movie Beyond the Mat?
No, I have not.
Watch it because it goes into so much detail about that match at the Royal Rumble. Mick Foley's wife and kids were sitting front row watching their father get smacked in the head 13 times with a chair.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being a family member of some of these guys.
Yeah.
There's no way I would be able to. Maybe not so much now because it's not as bad. But back then, man, oh my gosh.
Like even like back then, like you have seen like some people they took like nasty chair shots to the head. No wonder half of them got concussions and their careers were shortened.
Yeah, well, think about, remember when Darren Draws fell off of the scaffolding and paralyzed him, or we only need to mention Owen Hart.
Yeah,
I wasn't there, but I was in that city when that happened. Owen Hart. How about the time Owen Hart broke Stone Cold's neck doing a pile driver? Dude, it's nuts. How many necks did Jerry Lawler break?
And it always like amazed me with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like he took that pile driver from Owen Hart, and he still walked out when the match was over
with the title,
with the Intercontinental title. And I think like at that point, everyone was starting to to realize, okay, this guy's going to be a future world champion. A couple of months later, Shawn Michaels arrested India, and he becomes the man.
At the time, wasn't he the $1 Million Champion?
Yeah, like
or was it right just after that?
He started off like in '96 as the ringmaster, awful gimmick, and then like he got the name Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it stuck to him after that. And look at him now; he's a household name.
We so at work, my buddy, he's 50-something years old. Stone Cold's his favorite of all time, and it'd be completely random. I'll be like, "Get that piece of trash out of my ring." You can talk about your songs, talk about your John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, "I just whipped your ass."
Usually, like most of the times, like if I'm kind of working, well, there was one place I used to work before, and there was a manager that was there, and we hated. She didn't like me, I didn't like her, and every time like she just tried to like boss me around, I just kept going, "What?"
Dude, we've done that too. So they like to ask us, You want to stay over and work extra hours? The answer's fucking no. I work an hour away from where I live. I'm running 12-hour shifts. Fuck you. So the answer's no, but they'll be like, "Hey, you want to help out? What? It took this particular manager.
An extra hour. What?
He's like,
So you want me to stay a little extra time? What? Work another hour? What? Go home, never see my family for another 2 hours? What? You know about what you're saying? What? It's time for me to go home, jackass. Walk out the door.
Oh, yeah, Stone Cold was fucking
Oh,
awesome.
Stone Cold legend.
But I do have another subject that shows how big of fucking nerds we are that I want to comment on. But before that, I do want to ask what you're expecting. Just a real quick, what are you expecting from Expanded and Enhanced?
Honestly, when it comes to like expanded and enhanced, I'm just keeping my expectations low because, like I said, like usually if I get like overexcited about something and then it comes out and it just doesn't meet my expectations, then it just really annoys me.
Yeah, I'm expecting a reskin with more traffic.
Maybe, yeah.
It's pretty much what they've said. The 4K 60 FPS, that'd be pretty cool. But I mean, let's be honest. It's. I seen a meme on Facebook once. PlayStation 2 got 3 Grand Theft Auto games. Grand Theft Auto 5 got 3 PlayStations. There you have it, folks. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You have been playing a lot of Pokemon lately. You were in Mike's fucking party chat yesterday morning, the morning before, but you were playing Pokemon while you were supposed to be playing Warzone.
Hey, I could do 2 things.
What was the first Pokemon game you ever played?
Pokemon Red.
Pokemon Red. Where did it go? I have it. I meant to have it right here. That way, if you said it, I could hold it up. That's my favorite one.
I like funny story. Like the day, I think I was 13, 14 when that game came out, and like my mom and dad, like they were going to their local like Smith's Toys had at the time, and they did and they sold like video games. I ran in there like a bat out of fucking hell to get my hands on Pokemon Red, and I brought my Game Boy with me. So by the time it was paid for, put into the bag or whatever, by the time we walked out the front door, I was already picking my first Pokemon.
Man, and them old Pokemon games. The new ones are good too, and as they added more Pokemon, they were still good. But they still nothing beats the first 3: Red, Yellow, and Blue.
Yeah, I've said this like just like so many people, like, oh, I played this Pokemon game, I played that Pokemon game. Have you played Red or Blue? No, don't fucking talk.
Yeah, even Yellow. Even though Yellow was the same storyline, everything was the same. The only difference was you didn't get to pick a Pokemon, you got Pikachu, just like the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Red and Blue were still the originals. They came out before the TV show did.
Yeah.
They were out in the United States before the TV show was out in the United States. I don't know about in Japan if the game came before the TV show or not. I don't know. I've never been to Japan. So what's your favorite Pokemon? And I swear to God, if you say Pikachu, you're not really a Pokemon fan.
No, I'm not gonna say that. My favorite Pokemon's Charizard, hands down.
Charizard's awesome. Mine is it's a toss up between all of the fighting Pokemon from the first 150. Yeah. It was Machamp for a while, four-arm beast, but I also really have this thing for Primate. Like just the way they introduced him in the TV show, and then also the Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee kind of thing are so fucking cool too. So it's like I just love the fighting Pokemon, even though they're ultimately super weak to everything.
Yeah. Because I remember like the very first like episode of Pokemon that I ever saw, like when it first aired here in Ireland, it was, I think Ash was like going for like his 7th badge. It was like Cinnabar Island, and it was like Charizard against Magmar, and that was like the first time I ever saw like an actual Pokemon battle. And my thought was, okay, this is actually like interesting. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna like keep watching and just see what happens. Little did we know that Ash's Charizard was a right prick.
I was about to say, wasn't that the first match that Charizard actually kind of listened in?
Well, I think like with Charizard, he just wanted to test like Magmar's strength. After like the battle was over, it's like, all right, Ash, fuck you, put me back in the ball.
And Charizard never went away from that either.
I think like it's like some time later they did like the Orange Island like story arc And then right around that point, Charizard finally started listening to Ash, which just made us go, okay, now Ash has got like a really like strong Pokemon on the team. Then you go to the Johto region and you let him go. Ash, fucking idiot. Why? If that were me, no, you're not going anywhere. Back of the ball, you're going around my belt. You ain't moving.
Yeah, he let Butterfree go. He let Charizard go. He tried to fucking let Pikachu go.
Well, if that were me, I'd probably go right off with you. Fuck off.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy the character development of Charizard too, because I mean, when he was first introduced in the first season, uh, Ash saved him because the Charmander kept getting left on that rock.
Yeah.
So Ash saved him, saved his life. You could kind of see the direction the attitude was going to go when he evolved to Charmeleon.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It was, yeah, because I like remember like that episode like where Charmander like evolves. You just said it perfect there. You knew the split second like Charmeleon was going to have an attitude.
And then of course he evolved into Charizard and did not listen at all. And that's where where the games came out with it. You have to be this level, have this many badges before you can control Pokemon over a certain level.
Which makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise it becomes.
I know, like, a friend of mine, like he got into Pokemon. He got Pokemon Blue and I Red, and he just says to me like, "Oh, can you trade me like this certain Pokemon? How many badges do you have? I have none. Not a good idea." And he goes, "Why?" He said, "It's not going to listen. Who traded to me anyway? It's not going to listen to you." So after like 20 minutes of arguing, I just go, "Okay, here you go. But if it doesn't listen to you, don't come crying to me." 2 days later, he's not listening to me. I told you.
Yeah,
Listen to me more often.
that mechanic in the game actually keeps it from being overpowered, because you go pick up, on Blue or Red, you go pick up a Rattata and a fucking a Pidgey right there in the grass. Max them all the way out. You don't have to worry about anything the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But by making you have to have a certain amount of badges and a certain player level to be able to control Pokemon up to a certain level, it brings balance back to the game.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about Pokemon Go? Did you ever get into that?
I did like for a bit, but I think like around that point, like my interest in Pokemon was kind of fading away because like the more like series of Pokemon they were bringing out, and they were bringing out like so many like new Pokemon, and it came to a point where I'm just like, I just can't keep up anymore. Meh. So when Pokemon Sword and Shield came out on the Switch, that kind of got me back with, and I've been playing them like ever since. Like at the moment, like I'm streaming through Pokemon Shining Pearl on my channel right now, and I'm having a blast with it.
Yeah, I think with Pokemon Go, I kind of come and go with it. Like it's irritating because, like you said, they keep adding so many different Pokemon. There was 150 Pokemon when we were growing up. For years, there were only 150 Pokemon. Then they added the Johto. We're like, okay, this is all right. We got some new Pokemon. And then after that, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Every year we're gonna have 200 new fucking Pokemon.
Every year, like they're bringing them out, and you're just thinking to yourself, I think we have enough. Thanks. And now with the new Pokemon games that are coming out later this year, that's another 150 or slash 200. So I think it's just come to a point of just going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to see what happens.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Pokemon Go, I like the fact that it's still at least a couple generations behind. They come out with a new batch of Pokemon, and then like the 2 generations before that finally come out on Pokemon Go. With Pokemon Go, I think so. We do a lot of walking in the summertime. So I think that's when I get bigger on playing Pokemon Go, and I'll sit there at work with the damn thing on, and because my signal sucks at work, it thinks my character's walking around. So I'll get the points for it, and I'm like, I can live with that. Or I'll sync it to my Apple Watch, so that way I'm working and moving around, and then when I log back into the game, it sucks all that up into there. But then the wintertime rolls around, I'm like, this game's so fucking stupid. It's taking up space. I want to do something else. Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those come and go kind of things for me. So, all right, before we open up chat for some questions, you had a Hulk Hogan story.
Oh yeah. Now I know people are like going to say to me like that. Oh, Hulk Hogan's the reason why wrestling is listen to this. We went to like some WrestleCon like over in the States 7, 8 years ago. And one of my best friends, massive Hulk Hogan. So he like paid shit ton of money to meet him or whatever. And I remember like we were leaving and I was like walking past and he called me and he was like, dude, I said, look, it's Hulk Hogan. Fuck him. And Hogan like just turned around, he looked at me and I just goes, what you gonna do? Nothing. 5 minutes later, I got thrown out of the building. True story.
Let's be honest. The fucking publicity that Terry Bollea has gotten recently, fuck him. What a bitch.
Oh, absolute prick. And I remember like walking out after I got like thrown out of the building. It didn't matter because I was leaving anyway. So many people like walked past me, like they were high-fiving me, giving me a pat in the back. You're the only person that actually had the balls to tell Hogan to go fuck himself.
You know,
And I just said, what's he gonna do? Hulk up on me on his age? Off.
you know, it's funny because when he first tried to join wrestling, he got denied. They're like, fuck you got an attitude problem.
Yeah.
I don't know what changed between try 1 and try 2. Something changed and let him in, but the attitude problem never fucking went nowhere. Now, when the shit happened a while back where he got sued and all that, the racist shit, and then he was taken out of the Hall of Fame and put back in the Hall of Fame. Now, I don't think he should have been taken out of the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Because it didn't change what he did for the industry. He did do a lot for the industry. No charges should have been able to be pressed against him because the videotape was taken illegally. Mm-hmm. But fuck him for being a racist piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's the day that I decided I don't like Hulk Hogan. Because he's a racist piece of shit.
I'm gonna give Hulk Hogan like this much. He's done so much like for the industry, household name, but that still doesn't change the fact, Hogan, that you're still a piece of shit. Go fuck you.
I don't care how old he is or how big his pythons are. I still smack his old ass around. Oh,
but his middle python can't be that big if his wife left him.
Yeah, for a younger guy. For a younger guy.
Yeah, but anyways.
Max Ammo says, UG, how the hell you doing the interview without a beer?
Who says I didn't have a beer? This isn't water, folks.
I guess that's a running joke you two have all the time, isn't it? How are you going to stream without a beer? Or however.
No, I think it was in Mike's stream, and I don't know. I can't remember like whether I was there or not. And Max Ammo just said it out of nowhere, and we all just like burst out laughing. And ever since then, it's just become a thing.
How long have you known Max? I met Max when he was Whiskey Jack back in Redbeard's community about a year and a half ago. Did he come to your guys' community after that, or recently? Is he part of the linking of communities that I did, or?
I think I've only known Max Ammo maybe a month or two or so. He just because Mike does race playlists Saturday and Sunday. And usually I hang out in there doing the race playlist. And he just came in one day and he was like, oh, hey, UG, how's it going? And I'm just thinking, who the hell is this guy? And then once he told me who it was, I was like, oh, hey, man, how's it going?
I got you. So yeah, it seems like he's part of when I joined the communities up. When I started trying to do that with Black Knight and Redbeard and with you guys and Rufus. Mike wants to know, where do you hope GTA 6 is based? Where do you see your channel in 1 year? God damn, Mike, how many fucking questions are you going to ask? You Jewish prick! He wants his lunch and he wants to eat it too!
God damn it!
He says, where do you hope GTA 6 is based? Where do you see your channel in 1 year? And how many times will you say bollocks at my wedding?
For the first question, when it comes to GTA 6, doesn't really bother me. The second question, what was it? Where do I see my channel in 1 year? Hopefully over 500 subscribers after. Hopefully. But like I said, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And to your third question, that kind of depends how much I have drank during the reception.
So a
To answer your
lot.
question? Probably.
Oh. Diana says to drink for her because she's on antibiotics, for fuck's sake. Rowdy Bush says he was never a Hogan fan, even though he grew up in the Hogan era of the 80s.
And I think that that's just the thing. Like back in the 80s, like everyone considered Hulk Hogan like Superman. Hardly ever lost a match. But it's always like the older you get, you realize just how much of a shit he was, you know?
And then there was, the shot heard around the world when he revealed himself as an outsider, an NWO member, when he attacked Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, like when he turned heel in '96, like no one ever like saw it coming. But at the same time, you were interested. You're thinking, I wonder what Hogan would be like as a heel. And to his credit, he pulled it off.
And let's touch on that real quick while we're waiting for more questions to come in. Man, turning Hogan heel was the best thing Eric Bischoff ever did. The smartest thing he ever did.
I know, like, for some people, like, in the wrestling business, like, turning, like, someone face or heel, it could work, not work. So with Hogan, like, turning heel, they were taking such a big gamble, but it paid off, and it made Hogan and the entire company a shitload of money, and it even made WWF, which was called at the time, made them shit themselves.
Oh, they did, absolutely. But also at the same time, while that was probably the smartest gamble Eric Bischoff ever made,
yeah,
it was also the biggest mistake he ever made. Because that made the NWO look like this larger than life thing. And then when that played out, he didn't know what else to do. So eventually everybody was in the fucking NWO. You had 10 different branches. You had the Latino World Order, the red and black, the black and white, fucking pink and green, Italian World Order.
Now that we're talking about this, there was always like one storyline in WCW, and it's still my favorite to this day, Crow Sting.
Oh, when you went from the Stinger to the Crow.
Yeah. It's still my favorite storyline to this day. Like, Sting never had to say anything. He'd just stand up in the rafters, point a baseball bat, and everyone just sucked it in. I hate the fact that they ruined it with the match that they had at Starrcade and then having Sting join the NWO Wolfpack. I hate the fact that they ruined such a great story, and it took 18 months to build.
That was his second Starrcade match too, right? Because wasn't the Hogan Stinger match at Starrcade also?
Yeah.
When he came in on the zip line right after Owen Hart died.
I remember like when he did that, and literally like I was just kind of thinking it's way too soon for something like that.
I remember I was probably like 8 or 9 years old. It was like 98, 99 when that happened. And I remember my mom like, he's stupid. Why is he doing that? Shawn Michaels never came in on a zip line again after Owen Hart died.
Yeah.
Why is Sting doing it? And a few people have done it since, but I was like, but yeah, that was Starrcade. And I remember the whole intro to the Crow Sting there was awesome.
But like after a few months, like after like the Owen Hart tragedy, and you see someone doing that, you're just thinking it's too soon. Either that or just never do it again.
Yeah, it should have never been done again.
Yeah.
Obviously shit can fail. Antonio says favorite wrestler of all time from the Attitude Era. Both UG and PK. From the Attitude Era. We already answered that one.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, it's Stone Cold. He was all Attitude. I don't count Undertaker, I think, is greatest of all time, but he's not from the Attitude Era. He started in the Federation years. Yeah. I still call, and he never changed his character other than that biker bullshit where he was Mark Calloway for a while.
Did not like that, I'm being honest.
No, which is crazy because that was him. When I see him outside of the ring, I like to see that that's him. But in the ring, the dead man thing is just what it was. And when he came, oh my God, how about when he came back? He got buried alive by Kane as the American Badass. And then when he came back with the lightning and Kane's freaking out, oh, that shit was so cool. I could talk about wrestling all fucking day.
Like when you like see that, and next thing you know, you saw Paul Bearer walking out. I literally just went, "Fuck yeah!" Bringing back the old Undertaker. I was
When
like, beautiful.
when he
Don't
got
fuck
buried alive at
Yeah.
I think it was SummerSlam. But when he got buried alive, I looked at my dad, and you know what I said? Dead man's coming back.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
I think everybody knew it was. So.
Yeah.
Well, my dude, we hit the hour mark. I've got a break job to do in Kansas City. And I guess I'm having spaghetti with my parents for dinner.
Nice.
And Alyssa and her mom took the kids to the thrift store so they could get out of here while we did this interview. I don't know how much longer they can walk around. They could probably do it for a while, but I think all this interview. There's still so much we have to talk about. I want to do this again another time. I have other interviews I want to do, but I definitely want to do this interview again.
So what? We're thinking a part 2?
Maybe a part 2.
I'd be down.
That would definitely be good. I know there's a lot of you in chat that I did not say hi to. UG, it's UG's fault. When in doubt,
blame the Irish guy.
Blame the Irish guy.
Everyone else does.
I see all of you. Minky, Rufus, Mike, Jack, Justice, Diana, fucking everybody. All you Miss Amy, you're late. You are fucking late. But, if you guys came in late, go back and watch the interview. We had a great time. We just kind of talked a lot, so.
Yeah, I think, like, just with us, like, this wasn't really like an interview. It was just, like, just two friends just shooting the breeze for, like, an hour.
You know, it took me 3 interviews to get here, but this is kind of where I wanted my interviews to go, is to sit here and have a conversation with a slight script, but not have to stick to it. So, and you worked perfect for it, UG. There's still again, Pokemon and wrestling are the 2 things we have so much in common about that we could keep talking about. Maybe our next one could be all about wrestling, dude. We could sit here and talk about wrestling for fucking hours.
I was just about, if, like, you weren't, like, restricted, this could end up, like, being, like, a 4 or 5 hour fucking interview at this point.
Yeah, so, smash the like button for a part 2 of this interview. I hope we kept you entertained long enough. Miss Amy, I hope you get to feeling better soon. I really do. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. But, hey, thanks for doing this, man.
Oh, man, I actually had a great time. And if there is a part 2, you know for a fact I'm going to be sitting my fat Irish ass in this chair doing it.
For those of you that aren't already subscribed to UG, I think most of you are. His link is in the description of this live stream. Go subscribe to UG Outlaw. Right now he's playing Pokemon, but even when he's playing games that you don't want to watch, he's still entertaining. He's awesome. And you can make fun of him all you want. He don't care. I've been doing it for a year.
See, here's the thing, like, before I go, like, you could come into my chat, you could troll me, you could make fun of me, you can say whatever you want. I'm just gonna, like, search through my pockets like this and go, oh, I'm sorry, I seem to be out of fucks to give right now. Sorry.
UG is definitely a really good guy. Everybody knows there's been a lot of drama going around the community for the last years. That's what GTA is all about. And UG has found a way to be friendly to everybody. So that's why in the description I call him everyone's friend. Smash the like button for UG. Go subscribe to his channel. Let's get him up over 500 subscribers so I can fucking tag him in my community posts every time I share his stream out. Thank you, Mike, for letting me know that's why I couldn't fucking tag him. But yeah, we appreciate you guys being here. UG, I really appreciate you being here.
Of course, man. It was a pleasure.
Well, my dudes, we've got places to go and things to do. But as always, thanks for watching. We will see you on the flip side.